Good morning. What do we got? It's a tablet. No, it's not that. Oh, it's the phone. It's always the freaking phone. Good morning, Rumble Studios. Good morning, Rumble Studios. Good morning, Rumble Studios on this 10.24.2025. Current time is 6:16 a.m. Eastern Time here in upstate New York. That'd be the southern tier of upstate New York where I live and reside this Friday morning. Thank God it's Friday. We made it to the weekend, folks, and we are here now and we are running on all cylinders. A little feedback. I keep on forgetting about that. I did remember to turn on the Audacity to get the recording, so it doesn't take a longer process that I did after Wednesday's broadcast. I am Rich Roberts at Fireman Rich here on Rumble Studios. That's a product of Rumble. I'm on Rumble. As you can see, we're also on a total of 7. We got Rumble, Locals, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, X, and the little chain link there. That's the RTMP to Kick. Why? Just for kicks. You can follow me, though, over on X, at Fireman Rich on X. Also over on Spotify, at Fireman Rich on Spotify, because we do repurpose this audio, the audio portion over on Spotify and on Spotify for Creators. And all those other fine social media platforms, just Google at Fireman Rich. And I want to say good morning to Tina, our Jersey girl, and glad to have you here. Hope all's well. And we have Senior. Hey, how you doing? Coming in from Germany. You were for those folks, Senior's on the chat there on Twitch. He met him first time chatter on was it Wednesday night? We did Lord of the Rings. Check my log here. What did we do? Wednesday? Was the 22nd? Yeah, we did Lord of the Rings. He hung out with me for a little bit, talked about Germany, told him about the United States a little bit. It's glad to have you here. Morning time here, but I think over in Germany it's lunchtime. I think over there. So we are getting our day started here, and I'm glad to be here. Yesterday was a good day. Little blustery, fallish like and stuff like that. We did the audio podcast and also did a video. I'm doing these short videos, 5 to 10 minutes long, and it's over there. It's here on Rumble and over there on YouTube. And as far as that goes, and oh, you managed to transfer your Locho characters. Very good. That's good to hear. So you were able to do it. That's fantastic. Now you can enjoy the game again. We're talking about Locho. He's a Locho player, return Locho player, which glad to hear that. That's good. I love that game. We were playing that Wednesday night for a couple hours. And then last night, I wasn't going to broadcast because I'm going to watch the shows, but I got done what I was doing here after dinner, and then I guess the football was starting. I saw that there was a football game last night. I laid out on the love seat, and the missus said good night. And I said, no, I'm not just laying here. I missed all the shows. Well, the first 2 shows. We got 2 shows we're going to be watching tonight on replay on Paramount. Elsbeth and Madlock. They're the CBS lineup on Thursday night. CBS, you got Jordy and what's her name's first marriage. Ghost. I miss Ghost. I'll probably watch those again sometime this afternoon, maybe, or this morning after the broadcast, maybe after my walk. And then, but Madlock and Elsbeth are the 2 other ones. Madlock, along with Ghost, are probably our 2 favorites right now. I do have the morning coffee this morning, and it's tasting mighty fine. But yeah, I did do I'm doing these short videos, and they're the first one was about skin cancer with firefighters. The second one was political in nature about Biden's former press secretary, KGB, I guess they call her, KB something, KGP. and she has a new book out. So I had some comments on that, and I had some. The one yesterday is basically an interesting stat that came off of NBC. I don't really, but it caught my ear that our fellow Democrats they're not looking too great. Well, they're not looking too great because the shutdown is still going on, and it's affecting people now. Republicans, they voted for a clean CR. And what a CR is, to keep the government open. It doesn't include anything else. You can't include anything else. All the CRs there has been never that have ever been done, even with the frickin' Democrats, they voted to keep the government, and then all those other issues are separate to keeping the government. It's important to keep the government open because it involves people getting their paycheck. It's affecting people getting their paycheck now. So for anybody that says it's the Republicans' fault, they voted yes. So how can you blame them? The Democrats, they want to keep their leverage. That's per Senator Schumer, my New York senator. He wants to keep the Democrats. We want to keep our leverage. So he's thinking more party in front instead of government. He's voted for these so many times. It's, you know, he's just doing it to please the far left as far as that goes. So I'm going to say this, and anybody says otherwise, look at the facts. You can't add anything into a CR. That's a separate entity. Anybody thinks they can, but you don't know how government works. Okay? The Democrats, Schumer shut down, are keeping the country as a hostage. They're keeping the opening the government a hostage because they want to keep their leverage. You don't bargain that. You're jeopardizing other people's lives, and that's ridiculous. All they have to do is vote yes, just like John Fetterman. John Fetterman, a Democrat, he voted yes along with two other Democrats. Come on, Democrats, get with it. Open the government. Anybody that says, "Oh, they're blaming it doesn't work that way. You're looking through rose-colored glasses, and I think the video that I did yesterday indicates that, because it shows that the Democratic Party is at an all-time low of 60%. The Democrat Party is lower than I think the approval of Congress, overall Congress right now. They don't trust. People are leaving. The former press secretary of President Biden, she left the party, so she couldn't talk about his mental state. I guess they want to talk, well, I'm going to be an independent woman and stuff like that. Independents that say they're Democrats, I think they hurt the Democratic Party. That's just my viewpoint and my opinion. John Fetterman is a true Democrat. I don't agree with a lot of things that he says, but he's stepping up to the plate by voting yes for a clean CR. And that's what other Democrats need to do. So anybody that says otherwise, it's a moot point, because you're not seeing the real problem. A clean CR, there's a specific purpose for that. Okay? So just like there's specific purposes of doing things, you can't deviate from that. The Democrats want to, because they don't want to lose their leverage. And that's a quote from Schumer, a Democrat. He's holding the country hostage by not opening the government. So I just wanted to get that out there, because these little 5-10 minute clips, I think they're based on fact or observations. Like yesterday's, they have a poll now from NBC News indicating that the 2026 midterms aren't going to be looking pretty right now. Right now, things could change between now and then, but the Democrats got to get their act together. They're imploding. They're a mess. They don't have a plan. They're against everything. What are they for? Oh, we're for the people. Well, how are you for the people when you're denying people their paycheck? All you have to do is vote yes on the CR. The CR has nothing to do with health care. So don't give me that crap. It's about health care. It's separate. And if you can't separate it, then I don't need to talk to you. You don't understand government, I guess. I don't understand government, but anyway, I'm having fun doing those when something comes up, an interesting subject on politics, because I've been following politics for years, folks. And I speak my mind. Believe me, I used to speak my mind a lot more, but I try to be courteous. I try to be respectful, but I'm going to call it out as far as how I see it from my viewpoint. and stuff like that. And it's not complaining, it's not whatever, it's just an observation. And you should talk about politics. People want to just say, well, we just want to talk about the Democrats, but we don't want to look at the Republican side. I try and look at both sides. And the thing of it is, I just look at someone like John Fetterman, the senator from Pennsylvania. He's stepping up. He should be the leader of that party, not Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders could give a rat's ass. You notice how Bernie Sanders, when he said, oh, we need to tax more of the billionaires, they have more of the money and stuff. How come he's not saying millionaires and billionaires? Why? He's a millionaire. He'd be cutting his own throat. He has more money than he can shake a stick at. So when he says, oh, we need to tax a billion, there's a handful of billionaires. There's a lot more millionaires. Why don't you include them, Mr. Bernie Sanders? I'm just saying, you can see through that facade. Anyway, I just want to get that off my chest there a little bit. Well, I'm going to talk more about things like that on Hello America, which I'm putting together another broadcast as far as certain things. I guess they shot another boat, 2 more boats yesterday. And don't get me going on the ballroom. The ballroom, the Democrats are making a big. It's the ballroom was something about nothing. Past presidents have done it, so give me a break. Just shut up. He's improving the look of a beautiful building to make it more beautiful, and it's not costing taxpayers money. People, well, they're getting something from. Don't even bring that into it. It's just you're just creating problems and stuff like that. So it's just funny. It's laughable now. I used to be real conservative, but I laugh at that stuff when you have those so-called self-democrats that are criticizing the Republicans and stuff like that. Give me a effing break. It's ridiculous. Common sense, folks. Common sense. That's all it is. But I will be doing Hello America here. I don't know about this weekend, maybe next Tuesday or something like that. But I'm having fun with these videos. So they don't take that much to crank out. Some people do a lot of shorts. I like doing short videos, so 5 to 10 minutes. And I take a news item and I give my spin on it, introducing it. And then at the end, I give a final conclusion of how I observe it and stuff like that. And I think it's a good format that I like. So let's see. We're going to continue on here. Like I said, the weather is starting to change. It's getting a little cooler out. We're in fall. Let's see. The temperature dropped. It was 39. Now it's 37 degrees Fahrenheit. It dropped 2 degrees. Wow. It got a little cooler out there. Let's see what that's all about here and stuff like that. So, and I don't want to say any disrespect or I don't like my fellow Democrats. I do. It's just that I want to discuss it. But when I used to go off on the rails and stuff like that, it's like, okay, this is my view and that's your view, and we agree that we disagree, but the facts will come out. I thought that was pretty interesting that NBC News is, in a roundabout way, they're saying even the Republicans are low, but the Democrats are lower, for God's sake. I was surprised at that. It's like, whoa. And that's what happens. When I see a whoa on a particular article, I want to talk about it. And I think this new format is going to be good. So be looking for those. They'll be posted over on at Fireman Rich, as well as all those other fine social media platforms that you can if you're on, just Google at Fireman Rich and you'll see where else I'm posted. Something like that I do post across the board as far as that goes, because it's my view. I'm a social media observer, social media enthusiast. Does social media consume my life? Not really. It's just a platform to express my views, my viewpoint, my opinion. Okay. And I think that's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with that. Then you know where the person's coming from. Okay. So, because I'm not going to be a lemming and follow everyone that's, oh, we got to do this. No. I don't have fear of missing. What's that? FOMO? Fear of missing out? I don't have that. I used to have that, though, back in the day with the computers and stuff like that. Okay, let's see. Current temperature is 37 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's see. And that equates to 2.7 degrees Celsius here in the southern tier of upstate New York. And look, it sounds like the washer's working well this morning. It's spinning. Let's see. We have generally cloudy, slightly chance of rain showers. We had a little sprinkles yesterday and stuff. It was windy yesterday. High of 54 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds out of the west, 5 to 10 miles per hour. That's good. That's the last couple of days we've had 10 to 15, mostly up on that 15 side. So it's going to be the winds will be slight uh, lower. Sun will be rising. As you can see, it's dark outside right now, and at 6:30. But the sun will be rising at 7:29, which is in well, it's at 6:31. So 58 minutes. The sun will be rising here, and that window will be lighted up with the sunlight there in 40 or 58 minutes. Sun will be setting at 6:11 a.m. and okay, Tina, 6:11. I see Tina's comments. You're a little fat fingering this morning. I've done that before, Tina. That's good. Thank you for it's okay. Um Lots of laughs. Yeah, exactly. The sun will be setting at 6:11 p.m. here in the southern tier, and it goes by quick. You might as well say the sun's setting at 6 because six when it's 6 o'clock, it's down. We got these hills on the horizon, and the sun's behind them at 6 o'clock. It's so 6:11 is dark already. So, it and I think what Tina, you said the clocks are going to be turned back November 2nd. I think, right? Is that a Sunday? Yeah, that's a Sunday. That's in another week. Yeah, I think you told me the second. Um, November 2nd. Okay, yeah, you did tell me that. Okay, I remember. See, I remembered that. And let's see. I'm in bed, not awake. Yeah, okay, you're waking up and you're laughing and stuff, and that's good. Okay, our world times and temperatures as I speak, starting in Honolulu, Hawaii at 12:32 a.m. Raining in Honolulu, 77 degrees Fahrenheit. In Phoenix, Arizona at 3:32 a.m. Clear skies in Phoenix, 63 degrees Fahrenheit. In Chicago, Illinois at 5:32 a.m. Clear skies, 36 degrees Fahrenheit. New York City, the concrete jungle at 6:33 a.m. 6:33 a.m. here in upstate New York, the southern tier of upstate New York. Clear skies in New York City, 48 degrees Fahrenheit. Though they're a little bit warmer. Down in central Jersey, where Tina, our Jersey girl, is from, we have 61 for the highs, 38 for the low. Cloudy skies down there in central Jersey. Thank you, Tina, for that. Appreciate that. And continuing on with our world times and temperatures, going across the pond, the Atlantic Ocean, to London, UK. It's sunny and clear in London, 50 degrees Fahrenheit at 11:33 p.m. AM. They're still in the AM. In Milan, Italia, Manja. It's 12:34 in Milan, Italy. And it's sunny and clear, 63 degrees Fahrenheit. And Milan is a beautiful city. I love Milan. Great city there. Let's see. Skipping over to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. At 6:34 p.m., it is sunny and clear, 81 degrees Fahrenheit. In Tokyo, Japan, at 7:34 p.m. in their evening time now. Cloudy skies, 55 degrees Fahrenheit, and down under on the great continent of Australia, great country and great ally to the United States. I always love saying that. Thank you, Australia. We appreciate it. Melbourne at 9:34 p.m. Clear skies, 55 degrees Fahrenheit, and in Sydney, Australia, at 9:34 p.m. in their evening, cloudy skies, 64 degrees Fahrenheit, and those are our world times and temperatures as I speak. We do have a thought for the day. It's from Mr. Robert Harold Schuler again. We had him last week, the American trans. He's the priest. He's the pastor that's on Sundays and stuff like that. He used to be on Sundays. He passed away back in 2014. But Robert Harold Schuler, a very good man, great American. Was an American Christian televangelist. That's what I wanted to say. A Christian televangelist, pastor, motivated speaker, very motivated speaker, very good guy. And Over 5 decades, he pastored his church, the Garden Grove, uh, in California, starting back in 1955. I used to see this guy on Sunday mornings when I was growing up. I'd listen to a little bit, maybe 5 minutes and stuff like that. It's like, oh, okay, he speaks really good. He's a very good gentleman. And we have a quote from him as our thought for the day, and it goes as follows: Problems are not stop signs, they are guidelines. Wow. Problems are not stop signs, they are guidelines. Now, what the heck did he mean? I sort of have a sort of understanding of what he meant. Um, but his meaning in this quote is that challenges should not be viewed as permanent obstacles. You have problems, you can always mitigate and take care of those problems. There's always a solution for a problem, but they're not a permanent obstacle that ends progress, but as opportunities to learn, reassess, and adjust your path forward. Remember, we're always moving forward. And exactly, Tina. We learn from them. Thank you, Tina. That's a great follow up. We learn from our problems and our mistakes. Mistakes and problems, both the same thing. So we do learn from them. Thank you, Tina. That's a good one. That's good. Uh, Instead of seeing a problem as a reason to quit or have a road stop, a stop sign, you could use it as a guide to gain valuable insight, improve your approach, and discover new and better ways of achieving your goals. As far as that goes, I think there's problems with the Democratic Party, so I think they should listen to Mr. Schuler. Problems are not stop signs; they are guidelines. This isn't working for you, Democrats. The Democratic senators, vote for it and move on. You're just imploding more. The Democratic Party is eroding. I'm just shaking my head. My father, if he was alive, he would say, "What the frick?" He'd probably be a Republican now, and that's what's happening. There's quite a few. I'm hearing stories of Democrats leaving, either becoming independent, like John Pierre, whatever the JKP Pierre, John K. Pierre, John Pierre, or something like that. The former secretary of the President Biden. There, she's an independent now. Well, what's Democratic's not, but she's still a Democrat. That's We have Republicans that are like that too. You're an independent, you're a fence rider, basically. There's nothing wrong being an independent. Um, I'm more like slightly right of conservative, Republican conservative. Full disclosure there. So, and I'm proud of it, and I'm not ashamed of it either. And I do take a little offense when people say I'm wrong when I'm right. I'm just giving an observation. It's not that I'm wrong. It's just my view there's nothing wrong with somebody else's viewpoint, and you learn from that. I used to say that myself, but I don't look at it that way. I look at it from a different angle. It's like, what are they trying? Okay, they're still stuck in the mud, and that's what the Democrats are. They're just bringing up health care, and so it has nothing to do with health care. And as far as that goes, so let me get off of that soapbox there. We learn from them. Yes, we definitely learn from them. I like that. I could use that. That's good. Let's see. Thank you, Robert Schuler. God bless and Godspeed, sir, for the thought for the day. A great thought for the day. A great American, too. God bless him. We got National Day today. Let's see. What do we have? National Pharmacy Buyer Day. How do you make that a day? You're going in to buy something. I'm going to go buy a bottle of aspirin. So I go to that's Pharmacy Buyer Day. No, National Food Day. Oh, that's covering everything there. But we have one food that's by itself as a national day, and that's and I'm loving this one. National Bologna Day. Who doesn't like bologna? I know some people. Bologna is just flat out hot dog. That's all it is. It's a round piece of hot dog, basically, in a manner of speaking, I guess. But it's hashtag National Bologna Day. Bologna and cheese sandwich. Ooh, that sounds so good. And Tina says, yes, my favorite. Yes. Hashtag National Bologna Day. Since let's see, slice it, fry it, and yeah, you can fry bologna. I've had fried bologna when I was a kid. It's, or stack it high. October 24th is National Bologna Day, a time to celebrate one of America's most iconic and nostalgic lunch meats. It's the perfect day to honor the simple, satisfying joy of a bologna sandwich. And I do love bologna sandwiches, folks. American bologna is a bit different. U.S. food regulations require the sausage to be finely ground without any visible pieces of lard, which gives that smooth, uniform texture we all recognize. While typically made from pork and beef, modern versions can be found made from chicken, turkey, versions, even soy protein for or vegetable friendly base. And I've had chicken and turkey. I like the turkey. Turkey's pretty good. Turkey's bologna. Um, I don't think I've ever had the protein stuff as far as that goes. And Tina says, "Yes, good fried. I need to get low sodium. Yeah, there's a lot of sodium in bologna, I think, too, right? Yeah. So maybe what frying it gets the sodium out there and stuff. But today is National Bologna Day, so go have a bologna sandwich. Don't bother me. Go have a bologna sandwich. There we go. Um, so let's see where we at. Okay, we're at 30 minutes. That's good. We're on time here. We're doing good. Let's see. Good idea. Good idea. No, I say if somebody's bothering you, Tina, you could use that phrase. Go get a bologna sandwich instead of get out of my face. That's a nicer way of saying it. That's what I'll say to my when I talking to my Democratic friends today here, my neighbors and stuff. I say, go get a bologna sandwich. You like that one? Okay. Let's see. Yesterday we did have the audio podcast as far as that goes, and it went very well. We had a subject matter, the audio podcast, Fireman Rich audio podcast on Tuesdays and Thursdays, except every other Tuesday. That's when we do the Mixcloud broadcast of the Tioga Radio Show, where I present 8 songs. But normally it's Tuesdays and Thursdays, and that's what's going to happen next week. Yesterday's broadcast, it's basically a scaled down version of this type of the format of this broadcast. We have a meet and greet. We tell the thought of the day, the weather, the national day, and then the history. No, we'll have the story first. It's a good story, a good article or a piece about either space. A lot of it's about space because I'm a space nut. But yesterday's, and then after that we have the history, the sports, and then I say bye. And I wrap it up in like 30 to 45 minutes, right in that range. Usually it's around 40 to 45 minutes as far as, and it's over there on Spotify on as far as where I place the audio. But yesterday's subject was the Parthenon. The Parthenon is that bunch of buildings that sit there on the top of that hill in Athens, Greece. There's one particular building called the Parthenon. That's the one with all the columns, and it's older than dirt. It goes back to like fourth or fifth BC that when it was constructed. I've been there. My hands actually touched the Parthenon and all the other buildings there on the Acropolis. It's gorgeous up close and personal. Some people say, oh, you're looking at a bunch of old rocks. No, it just what that represented in history to be on that ground. This was back in August of 1979. I was running on the base running team from Aviano Air Base. We had the Mediterranean Sports Conference Air Force running championships, and And if you qualified there, you would go on to the European, the USAFE, European Air Force Championships. I didn't make it to the European. I missed it by about a minute, 2 minutes. A guy from Crete that was stationed in Crete ran right by me on the last 2 miles, 3 miles. Pissed me off. So I had to go home early. No, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was. So that was in 78. No, 79. August of 79. Because August of 78, we went to Madrid. I went to Madrid and I stayed there for the Europeans, the USAFE championships. I didn't make it, but I stayed there. I qualified for that. So, but the Parthenon, when I went there, it was, oh my God, I mean, Athens, it's sort of, you can see the pollution in there and stuff like that. But the story yesterday, let me get to the crutch of it. Basically, visitors gaze on Parthenon free of scaffolding for the first time in 200 years. So, like the last 200 years, they've been trying to, sort of fix up the place in a manner of speaking. And the Parthenon is the Parthenon was always had scaffolding of some sort because they want to do some type of restoration and stuff like that. So, and I went there, and it's a fantastic place, folks. It's phenomenal. It is phenomenal. And I just lost the article here. Where the hell is it? Oh, here it is. And so I talked about that yesterday, and it pretty much stunning images show the ancient Parthenon temple scaffolding free for the first time in 20 years. So it's only going to be short-lived because they're going to be putting up some new scaffolding, I guess, to continue with the restoration. Visitors to the marble wonder found in Athens, Greece, can finally enjoy a clear view without scaffolding for the first time. Now, when I was there, and this is back in 1979, August, there was scaffolding up, folks, on certain portions of the Acropolis and other buildings. But the removal of the last iron cage erected about 20 years ago on the temple, but they've had scaffolding up for like 200 years since they've come across this. And what is the other thing there? The Acropolis has been around, but let's see. However, those waiting to see the pristine view need to be quick because work is scheduled to continue on the historical structure in November with another set of scaffolding being constructed for further conservation of the site. And the Parthenon, the Acropolis itself, and Parthenon, the monument, the Parthenon itself was built back in 5th century BC on top of the Acropolis to honor Athena. So that's the preliminary that we talked about that yesterday. And like I said, it's one of the great joys of my life to be able, one of the great sights that I've seen. It rates up right there with Niagara Falls, being on top of the Empire State Building when I was a kid in 64 or 65. But I've seen the Parthenon, and my father was there during the Navy. Matter of fact, I have a picture of me standing, and the Acropolis is right back over my left shoulder. It's on the exact spot. The guy with that spot where I got one of my teammates there took the picture. But I stood there, but I had to argue with this gentleman. He says, no, that's only for tour. I said, no, I can stand here. I have a ticket. I can stand wherever I want. And he let me take the picture. I said, my father stood here when he was in the Navy after World War II. So I sent the picture to my father, and he loved that as far as that goes. So that's what we talked about, the audio podcast yesterday. So that was pretty neat. It's a great memory, seeing those structures. I was in total awe. And just thinking back, it's one of those things that when I think back to it, I'm still in total awe to be able to have seen something and actually touch something that was from back on the fifth century BC. That's a long, long time ago. I should have tried to pick up a little piece or something like that, but I didn't want to do that. That would have been that's not right. I guess. I know, but Athens was okay as a city. It all roads lead to Athens, so there was so many cars. I couldn't believe almost. Yeah. Other than the structures, the cars, it just reminded me of Los Angeles or New York City on a traffic jam, so to speak. Okay, we're going to do 100 years ago with Roger Luther on Fox 40. I guess we can move to that. Coffee's tasting good too. Oh, let me check on Kick here. Let's see. Do we have anybody over on Kick? Let's see. We have one person on Kick. Thank you, the one person on Kick. Let's see. We got check the Facebook Live here. We got all right. Nobody on Facebook Live, and we have X Live up. We have one person on X Live. That's a little low, huh? Okay, but the number shows up here. Okay, the number shows up here. Now it doesn't show up right up over here when I'm looking at my screen. It doesn't show up there though. But I have it. We have the one person, and it might be just me because I'm on it. Okay, but that's for the comments. We get comments from everything except Facebook, X Live, and Kick. So um, okay, let's see. Let's get Roger Luther here from Fox 40 up. And I forgot to set that up. So give me a minute here. And this is 100 years ago, which would be 1925, as of Wednesday, the 22nd. And no, we don't want that yet. Let's see. We'll just move that there. No, we got to stop it. It wants to start like two times in a row for some reason. Okay, we got that one. Let's go ahead and do this one. We'll bring it up. Yep, there it is. I bring up two because I show one and then I'm looking at the verbiage of that particular one and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and bring this up. Fox 40. Full disclosure, I do not have any association with Fox 40. I know I sound like a broken record, but I feel like I have to do this because someone might say, well, you're representing, and I don't represent Fox 40. I'm just a consumer of their webpage and their information because it shows a little bit of the southern tier of upstate New York where I live and reside. So from that aspect, uh, I have no association with WEBO, WNBF, Channel 12 News, Channel 12 that's BNG, Channel 34 WENY out in Elmira, Channel 18 it's out in Elmira, Penny Saver, KGB radio station up in Binghamton, KISS 104 and 106.5. That's the country station up there in Buffalo for some additional New York news or something like that, along with Power 93.3. I look at these webpage and I find things that are pertaining to the southern tier of upstate New York, or else also New York State. There's some other news agencies I look at, but those are the primary ones I look at for news concerning the southern tier as well as New York State. And I just consume them just like you guys consume. You should have multiple sources when you're looking at information. It's always a good idea because you shouldn't believe half the crap that's out there that people spill out of their mouth as far as that goes. It may be their opinion, but it's not fact. I like to try and base it on a little bit of fact, or try to base it all on fact and stuff like that. When it is my opinion, I will say it's my opinion and stuff like that. I just don't say, oh, this and that and that, and there's no context to it as far as, well, where did you get that from? So, I'm going to give you the person that wrote it as far as that goes because it's their view too, as far as it goes. And in specific news, you should be looking at multiple news agencies and stuff like that, and I do. The only one I don't look at, and I'll be full disclosure, is MSNBC. Anybody, this is my God honest opinion of it. MSNBC is atrocious. They are probably the sickest news agency. And I used to watch that with Lester Holtz back when it was just online when they first started. I loved MSNBC when it first started, but they just went downhill and crap. They're almost as bad as they're almost as bad as The View. That's the only thing they got going for them. They're not that bad because they got The View. That's even worse as far as the hecklers over there on that desk there. It just that's just some of the stuff that comes out of there is just pure hate as far as that goes. There's a couple people on that panel. Oh, they were real cozy to President Trump back in the day, but now that he's president, they don't. Okay, just disagree that you don't like his views, but don't spill out the hate. And they do spill out hate. They try and hide it behind love and stuff like that, but I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. There's a lot of people out there that are like that and stuff like that as far as that goes. So I read, Tina says, I read EP Apper called 1440 Just Facts. Oh, I read a paper called 1440 Just Facts. Oh, let me look that up. That looks interesting. 1440 called 1440. Oh, okay, that's good. See that, then that's good. If oh, you get an email paper. Okay, yeah, that's a good way. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, but there's a lot of sources out there. There's anybody that just goes to one source because it meets their narrative, and that's a thing. I'm not trying to put out what I put out because it represents my views. I don't have an agenda. I don't have a narrative or something like that, but most people do because they want to justify that they're correct. And I'll tell you, I'm the first person that if I'm wrong, I'm wrong as far as that goes. But if there's a difference, that it just as far as that goes. So we could go round and round on that subject. I'll save that for Hello America. Okay, Tina? All right, let's get to 100 years ago. This is a good piece here that we all enjoy. And we'll see what this is all about here with Roger Luther. He is the Broome County, New York historian. And I'd love to meet this guy. Really would. I would really love to meet this guy. Let's go ahead and bring this up in the present here. So we bring this up out of the queue. And that looks good. There it is. And get my camera out of the way. And let's see what he has to say. Here we go.
100 years ago today, construction began this week on the new English Lutheran Church of the Holy Nativity at 312 East Main Street in Endicott. During the month of September, 35 babies were born at the Endicott Johnson Workers Hospital on Washington Avenue. The famous evangelist Billy Sunday is coming to Binghamton and will hold a campaign during January and February. A tabernacle to hold 7,000 people will be built for the event on a site provided by George F. Johnson near the EJ factory at Washington and Susquehanna Streets. And finally, after getting several complaints of shootings, stabbings, and fights in the vicinity of Sherman Place, police are cracking down on crime in that area. Since Saturday, 12 people have been rounded up and ordered to leave town. That was the news, October 22nd, 1925.
The crime wave in southern tier of upstate New York. Oh, my God. That's something. Oh, what was it now here? Where was it? Complaints of shootings and stabbings and fightings in the vicinity of Sherman Place. I don't know where that's at. Maybe that's in Binghamton somewhere. And Tina says, wow, yeah, they had some bad crime, I guess. It wasn't just the kids running around stealing candy and stuff. But 12 people were rounded up and ordered to leave town. At least, why did you throw them in jail? I guess they had a ruckus there. But So they did have a little bit of crime, not the big issues that we have of today, but I guess they were issues. But 100 years ago, began with this week the construction of the new English Lutheran Church of Holy Nativity on. You know what? Let's see what that looks like. Let's see what that church looks like. I'm gonna Google it. Is that the church? Oh, they've it's called the Ignited Church Endicott. It's is that it? It's right across from the Graydon Apartments. They've changed it. Let's see. Let me bring that back here. This is a picture of the church. It's still there. It looks like it's been renovated. Let's see. Let's get the picture of it here. And this is a May of 20. It's just a small church. Let me bring this up. This is on Google. There's the church right there. You can see, I guess it's probably, it looks like it might have been torn down and redone, but you look at those structures on either side, those structures, they look like they're 100 years old, folks. Those are old structures in Endicott. This is in Endicott right now. That's the church that they were talking about as far as that goes. So that's the church that it was called the English Lutheran Church of Holy Nativity and that's 312 East Main Street in Endicott right there. I know it says, what's it say? It says 311, but that's 312. It must have been because, but this is Endicott right here, and it's right across the street. You have a whole bunch of apartments. Those are not too, and right down the road there, that's going down the street of Endicott. This building right here, these buildings on either side of that church, they're 120, they're 100 years old, folks. So, but it looks like they might have torn it down and renovated it, and as far as that goes, so pretty interesting. The church is still there, just under a different name, and it looks like it's a different um, different look. I don't know as far as that goes. I wonder if there's a picture. Let's see. Let's see if there's a picture for the East Lutheran Church of Holy Nativity in Endicott. Let me see if there's a. Let's see. I'm going to check to see if there's a. Let's see. Let's check images. I'm not seeing one. Let's try it this way here. One more. Let's check this out. See if there's a picture. I don't know if that's it right there. Oh, here it is. Here's a picture. So does that look the same as that one? Oh, you know what? It is the same church. They just changed the name. Here's the actual church. Let me bring it up here. They changed the name. The structure is still the same. That's what it looks like before when it was on the. Okay, it has a name. Okay, and I guess they changed it to this picture. They just changed the name off on the left side, so it is still the same structure. Okay, so some churches, I guess they do that as far as that goes. Um, so that's pretty interesting. Yeah, I found that. Yeah, that's interesting. It's the same church, so it's still there 100 years later. Just looks like it's got a more modern brick on it and stuff like that. So it's standing. And those buildings next to it, they definitely look architectural wise. They do look like they're from 100 years ago, and that's pretty interesting. So that so which we're fact checking Roger Luther. Yeah, the building's still there, folks. And then they had what a rally of some sort. Evangelist Billy Sunday. Never heard of that. Heard of Billy Graham. Billy Graham and his what's his son's name? He's on the commercials now. Um, Two great American individuals there. Um, but Billy Sunday was holding a campaign during January and February, which the tabernacle holding 7,000 people will be built for the event by George F. Johnson. George F. Johnson, a great man for the Southern Tier. He was the founder and CEO of EJ Factory, which was Endicott Johnson Shoes. That used to be on Washington and Susquehanna streets in Endicott, which is also the birthplace of IBM. IBM is not there either. Yeah, they got another. I guess BAF moved into portions of the old Endicott IBM manufacturing site. And I used to work there for 9 years when I got out of the Air Force, so it was a good place to work. But IBM decided to get out of manufacturing. And the last thing there was it September last month. There was 35 babies born in Endicott Johnson Work Hospital. Now that hospital is not there. Endicott does not have their own hospital anymore. There's two hospitals now. They've got some medical centers there, but there's no real hospital there anymore. There's two up in. I think there's two in Binghamton, or maybe three. There might be three in Binghamton, as far as that goes. Binghamton General, Lords, which is now owned by Packard, uh, um, Packard Hospital Systems, and there might be another one. There's a lot of small clinics and stuff like that in Endicott, New York, as far as that goes. So let's see. In other history, it was in 1260. The Cathedral of Chartres was dedicated in France. I guess that was a Catholic church. And let's see, Paul McCartney back in 1979 received a medallion cast in Rodum after being declared the most successful composer of all times. Well, I don't know. He's a great composer, having written or co-writ in 1962 and 1978 43 songs that had sold over millions of copies. I don't think he's the most successful composer. Bach, Chopin, those were greats, right? Okay, Tina. See you later. Let's see. Oh, this is a little football news. Arsenal. That's they're in first place in um, the Premier League over there in the UK. But 21 years ago, Arsenal Football Club, which is over there in the UK, set an unbeaten record, winning 49 matches in a row, the most ever in the English Premier League, earning the nickname the Invincibles. The home team of Islington, London, played 22 away games without a defeat. A special gold version of the Premier League trophy was commissioned to commemorate their winnings the title with an undefeated season. Um, so in May 2018, this gold trophy was presented to Arsene Wenger as a gift during his first home game as manager after 22 years. Wow, I didn't know that. I'm going to have to. That's interesting. That's an interesting fact there, folk. That is interesting. Let's see. Over on the AP side, let's see what we got here. Um, if it shows up here, come on. My Surface 3 is okay. There it is. It's slower than dirt still. It's getting old. Let's see. In 1537, Jane Seymour, the third wife of England's King Henry VIII, died 12 days after giving birth to Prince Edward, later King Edward VI. Okay. And then in 1861, the first transcontinental telegraph message was sent by Chief Justice Stephen J. Fields of California from San Francisco to President Abraham Lincoln in Washington, D.C. That was Morse code. They use Morse code there. What do they call that? I can't think of the name, but okay, let's see. In 1929, a massive sell-off at the opening of the bell of the New York Stock Exchange on this day led to the chows as stockbrokers couldn't keep up with the trade requests. Though the market recovered some losses by the end of the day, it was known as Black Thursday. Marked the beginning of the Wall Street crash of 1929. So it started on this day 100 years ago. And let's see, what bridge is that? And in 1931, I've been across this bridge a couple of times, quite a few times. The George Washington Bridge connecting New York City with New Jersey was dedicated. It was the world's largest suspension bridge at that time. It was they had motorcades going over there on this day in 1925. And in 1952, Republican presidential candidate Dwight D. Eisenhower, who became president, was elected president, vowed to go to Korea as he promised to end the ongoing conflict there. Eisenhower would indeed visit Korea in December after winning the election, but prior to his inauguration. And I used to see this here when I used to spend summers down in my grandparents' house there, Brownstone on Avenue N. I used to sit at the kitchen table to eat my breakfast, and I could look out the window and I could see this particular aircraft fly into Kennedy off in the distance in Brooklyn. But in 2003, the British Airways flight of from New York to London marked the final commercial flight of the supersonic Concorde jet, and I saw that at least a dozen times when I would visit down during when I was a kid. I'd always see it when I visit. I always see it when I sit at the breakfast table. I'd always see it one or two times coming in during when I spent summers down there in Brooklyn at my grandparents' house. It was pretty neat. Didn't like the way it ended. They stopped. That was the last commercial flight, but I think they had an accident after that, I think, sometime. And that's all we have for history there. So, oh, bless you. Mrs. Sneezing. Okay, let's see here. Okay, that's it for there. Let's see. We're coming up on 1 hour, so we're going to go ahead and take a break because what is it? It looks like it's did I say that right? Yeah. It's time for more coffee. We're going to take a little break. I'm getting my money's worth out of this little sign that I keep tucked up here. Yeah, we're going to go get some more coffee here and take a little break, and we will be right back as far as that goes. And you guys just hang in there and take a couple minutes, unless I got to clean an extra cat box or something like that. So I'll be back in a few here, folks. So just hang loose. Let's see, bubblegum. got to shut this off real quick here. Oh, got it just in time. the button for the auto loop there. Testing, 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 testing. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Just make sure I have everything copacetic here. All right, we're back here for the Friday morning coffee, 10.24.2025 at Rumble Video Broadcast. We're here on Rumble Studios. It's a product of Rumble. Rumble's a great place to be, and we currently have, as you can see up over here, we have 3 people on Rumble, 1 person on local. They're associated with Rumble. I got my locals account tied to Rumble. Nobody on YouTube, 2 people on Twitch, nobody on Facebook. We got 3 people now on X Live. Hello, people from X Live. Glad to have you here. And nobody on Kick. Well, let's check Kick because that number doesn't come in there. That's the only number that doesn't come in. Now, we don't get any comments from Kick, X Live, or Facebook, but I have for X Live, I can monitor the comments from here. So I'm doing that. Oh, that fell down. We just gave myself a heart. All right. Let's see. Let's check Kick. We did have 1 person over there on Kick, and let's see. We still have 1 person on Kick, and we checked the Facebook, and Facebook is still looking good, and no comments on the Facebook, and we have no comments currently on X Live. So, but we do have all the other platforms there. Like I said, Rumble, Locals, YouTube, Twitch, and they come into the chat here on the backstage. What I'm looking at right now, as far as that goes. So, but we are on the second half here. I got my second cup of coffee here, and you can see it's daylight out right now. What time is it? It's 7:20, so it's been daylight here for about 10 minutes. Looks like it's cloudy out. Yeah, we got clouds out there. It's cloudy. I don't think I need to mow the lawn this week, though. I think I may have 1 more lawn mowing, and then that lawnmower is going into the shop. We're going to probably take care of that starting in November. Have that taken care of. It needs some work. It needs some work on the deck as far as that goes. I'm thinking about getting a new one, but I like this lawnmower, so if I can get it fixed for under $1,000, I think it'll be well worth it to keep it for another 2 years. Then look at one. We've had this one for, oh God, it's got to be pushing almost 10 years now as far as that goes. So let me get the shades over here. So how long have we had that lawnmower? Long time? Yeah, a long time. Oh, we did take delivery yesterday. And it's sitting in the back room right now, and we made contact with a contractor. We're going to have a new, what would you call that?
What?
Kitchen sink base?
Yeah, sink base, lower cabinets.
Yeah, sink, lower cabinets, a new one stuff. The one we have is older than dirt. That goes back to what, the 1960s?
40s.
1940s. It has a nice porcelain sink on it, but the drains inside, they're pretty rusted out and stuff. It's just time for change. Something after purchasing this and having delivered, and the place we had delivered, they're a local outfit here. They've been here for years, and they travel all the way up to Finger Lakes from what the delivery guy was telling me. This guy works in the warehouse for this place. It's a local how can I put this, kitchen, lumberyard and all that stuff. They do kitchens, bathrooms, and stuff like that as far as for cabinets and stuff. He's been working there for 18 years. I said, God bless you. It must be a good, he says it's great. He says there's people that have been there longer and stuff. So we purchased it from them, and it's sitting out back, and it looks gorgeous. There's a question, well, we should have had a longer top, I guess, but it's gonna really look nice and stuff like that. Once that's installed, I'll show some pictures. We might even take a roaming with the phone there to show it as far as the new addition into the kitchen as far as that goes, because it's something that's been long overdue as far as that goes. I don't know if the missus went outside here to. So we're going to continue here. Got my second cup of coffee, and we're looking pretty good for today. I got to do a walk today. I did a walk yesterday. I think I will be getting a walk in today. Hopefully, let's see what's the weather. Let's see. Let's check the current radar. I'm just curious on just a real spot check of the weather, and that's the current weather conditions. Again, no association with WBNG. I just consume their products off of their and then present it here to give you an idea what it's like here in the southern tier of upstate New York. And it looks like it's just overcast. Okay, those are overcast clouds. So there's a quick look of the local weather here in the southern tier. So it looks like it's going to be a good day. And let's see what we have. What else we have on Fox 40 for news? Let's see. Mercy House holds 12th annual Gala of Taste. Mercy House. Let's go ahead and check this one out. Let's see. This is off of Fox. Oh, tone that down a little bit. Sorry about that, folks. Let's go ahead and bring this one up. Again, no association with any of these news agencies that I'm presenting certain articles showing you the southern tier of upstate New York and New York, anything pertaining to New York State, where I live and reside, folks, and just a consumer. Okay, what am I doing here? Oh, we got to do this. Okay, we got to take that down. Go to present. We did, I think, right? Yeah, there we go. And bring this up and see what this is. Mercy House and stuff. Let's bring down my camera. Go back over here, enlarge it, and we'll see what this is all about.
Over in Endicott tonight, Mercy House held a gala to help raise funds for their terminally ill patients. This was the 12th annual Gala of Taste Mercy House has held, where attendees who purchased a ticket were treated to a night full of exquisite food and music. This included tastings from regional wineries, cuisines prepared by PS Restaurant, music by acclaimed artists, and even various auctions. Proceeds from this event went directly to providing end-of-life care for the terminally ill residents of Mercy House.
We sold over 400 tickets, and we have everybody here partaking in PS Restaurant hors d'oeuvres and food, and we have drinks, wine tasting, beer tasting, basket raffles. So this is our biggest fundraiser to help offset the cost of caring for the terminally ill in our community.
Oh, okay. It's at the end there. Mercy House. They help the terminally ill here in the southern tier of upstate New York. That's a good cause. The guy that was playing the piano there, he looked like Bernie Sanders. And just like getting back on ragging Bernie there. So it's a good cause to help. I would say a really good charity here in the southern tier. Because a lot of people that are faced with that situation, there being terminally ill, the family and individual, they let's just say they accrue a lot of medical bills and stuff like that. So any help is always appreciated, I guess. So thank you, Mercy House. A good cause here in the southern tier of upstate New York. Let's see what else we have here. And Discovery Center opens newest addition to Story Garden. Well, let's see what this is. Discovery Center. I used to take my kids to this, and when they were
the Discovery Center is
when they were younger. We went there a couple times when the kids were younger, as far as that goes. So let's go ahead and check this out. This is where a good place for families to take young children and stuff. So there's a young lady from Fox 40. And we'll start this one.
The Discovery Center is excited to announce the unveiling of its new update to the Enchanted Cove and its Story Garden. The Enchanted Cove now features a fully accessible rock and glide dinghy and dock. The installation took place over 2 days. The Discovery Center says the addition perfectly complements the Pirate Ship Playground, which opened last year at this time, and the Fairy House and Musical Garden, which opened this summer. You can find more information about the Discovery Center and its Story Garden by visiting thediscoverycenter.org.
I got to turn my mic on. There you had. Uh, I'm talking. I didn't realize the mic wasn't on. Discovery Center opens new addition to Story Garden, and you can see the fall foliage in the background there. So that's great as far as the people and that's probably through donations as well from the community to have that done. So that's a good deal there. Okay, that's two from Fox 40. So that's not bad. Let's see what else we can find here. And oh, I'm not going to show it, but Eric Adams endorses Andrew Cuomo for New York mayor. I think Andrew Cuomo may win. I just got a gut feeling, folks. I may be wrong, but we'll see what happens. Okay, that's it for Fox 40. Let's go to WBNG. And let's see. Do we got anything on or WEBO? I'm sorry. I'm on the WEBO site here checking to see if there's any news, local news here, and that's a local radio station. I do listen to them. Well, let's see. How come that's not coming up? Let's see. Let's refresh that. Let's see. There anything? Public health host? No. That's oh, they're going to have a national prescription drug take back if you have some old prescriptions. Don't continue if they're old and expired. Don't just go ahead and take them back. And let's see anything. No, nothing. Let's see. They have anything on the national? Let's see for New York. Want to look for New York. Let's see. Yeah, the big news is Adams backs Como in race to succeed. That's the second article there. So that's big news, I guess. That's getting pretty heated. But I got a gut feeling, and I may be wrong. I could be wrong, but I just have, for some reason, something tells me that Como may win over the other guy. Okay, we're on WNBF. And I'm not seeing anything on WNBF. Okay, so let's go to Channel 12, WBNG. Greek Peak Resort hosts Freak at the Peak. No, we're not going to do that one. The Ross Park Zoo hosts Zoo and Treat. Let's go ahead and look at. I like the Ross Park Zoo. I like to promote the Ross Park Zoo. So, oh, this is 8 minutes. So I don't know if we want to take 8 minutes. Let me see. Do they have? No, this doesn't. It's more or less a sit down for 8 minutes. I'm not. No, if it was only 2 minutes, I'd say yeah. But no, we're not going to do that. But the Ross Park Zoo in Binghamton will be hosting a fun-filled zoo and treat event this Saturday. That's tomorrow between 10 and 2. Families can enjoy a festive day featuring games, crafts, and paints, glitter tattoos, and craft stations. The event also includes activities with the Valley Dental Pediatrics team, making a perfect mix for zoo adventure and season fun. The zoo is located at 60 Morgan Road in Binghamton, and the zoo is a great place, folks. Ross Park Zoo is it's one of the oldest zoos in America. Okay, what's that? What's up? Okay, I just heard her say, "Oh shit." That usually indicates there's something wrong. Okay, let's go to WAAL, the radio station, and that's the same as WNBF. Yeah, same article, so we're not gonna. There's nothing there. Channel 34. What do we got on channel 34? Anything? I'm not seeing anything. Twin Tiers Comic Con returns to Big Flats. Oh, what's that about? Oh, there's no Twin Tiers Comic Con returns to Big Flats. That's out. That's out in Elmira. Fans of all things pop culture can look forward to Superpower. Page One Entertainment recently announced return to the Twin Tiers Comic Con. It's the 11th year. Hey, Tony D, how you doing, my friend? My brother veteran, my good friend, fellow broadcaster. How you doing, my friend? It's Friday. So I guess they have a sort of version of Comic Con. I don't know. It's not something. Okay, I'm just surprised at that. Let's see. Let me check what's going on. Okay. Still on channel 34 news. Oh, they did have some indictments and some people taken in the NBA gambling thing yesterday, which that sort of rocked the NBA. There's some high-profile NBA people there, as far as that goes. Let me check something here on the Twitch, folks. Stand by for a minute. Salute to you, my friend. Positive hashtag PSTTD. Tony says good morning. There she goes. She said good morning. Okay, we banned him. Okay, and let's go back to channel 34. I'm not seeing anything on channel 34. Okay, let's go to WENY out there in Elmira. Let's see what this one's about. Is there a video on this one? No. And catching up on the weather here. If I can get to it. Tony is down there in Warner Robins, Georgia. I couldn't say that. Think of Warner. I just said Robins, Georgia. No, Warner Robins, Georgia. Tony D is from, and he says it's 46 degrees Fahrenheit down there. It's 38 up here, Tony. 78 for the high. That sounds comfortable. 45 for the low. Mostly cloudy, and we appreciate that, Tony. The weather down there in Warner Robins, Georgia, for Tony D. And thank you for the Facebook. See, I got you pegged. I know you. I say I like the Facebook. Thank you. Let's see here. How local food assistant groups are preparing for high demand for government amid the government shutdown. So this is the results of the government shutdown. You got these food banks that are. Is there the video? Yeah, there's a video right there. These food banks are gearing up because I guess there's some programs that because the government isn't open because of the Democrats not voting for a clean CR, which is separate from medical bullshit. As far as not my opinion, okay, we already talked about that, so we don't need to bring that up again. But this is the impact that the Schumer shutdown is causing. And let's see what we have here. Yeah, we want to bring this one up.
Local food assistance programs are continuing to grapple with increased demand as federal workers seek their services amid the ongoing government shutdown. WENY's Connor Friedhoff has an inside look at how food banks are coping with the influx of people seeking help. Connor?
Renata, federal workers are bracing for the impact of losing their paychecks. And for local food banks and assistance programs, the number of people looking for help amid the shutdown continues to grow.
New York is one of 36 states sounding the alarm on SNAP benefits as the government shutdown continues. Local food assistance organizations are doing all they can, even as demand soars.
We've already seen record demand and need. 2024, it was a record-breaking year for the request for food in our 6-county region. And for 2025, we're already up 3% over that record need. So our system was already strained. We're already seeing record demand. So we just saw last week, 5,000 federal workers stop receiving paychecks.
The Food Bank of the Southern Tier has been preparing for increased demand since July and can accommodate short-term situations like this one. But a lapse in funds lasting several months would put an insurmountable strain on their efforts and resources.
There's a strong possibility that folks who are on SNAP, who receive SNAP benefits, their benefits will be paused because of the government shutdown. So we've been preparing in anticipation of this. So last week, we released funds to our 300 partner agencies to help them ramp up and get ready for the expected increase in need and demand.
Funds have also been released to the food bank's 300 partner agencies to assist with demand, and mobile pantries are rolling out at a quicker pace. Local volunteers urge those in need to not hesitate and to reach out if they're in need.
Please make sure you access the food pantries because we are here to serve you. We are here no matter what class you find yourself in. Don't be shy. Don't be afraid. You're going to be welcome. You're going to be treated with respect. So please come, and you can call the food bank, and they will also give you a list of pantries that are available in our area and that you can have access to food.
Those in need of assistance or looking to volunteer can contact organizations like the Food Bank of the Southern Tier, or you can reach out to your county's Department of Social Services to learn about food pantries and volunteering opportunities close to home.
Okay, so there we have it. There's an indication right there in the news, right here in the Southern Tier, direct impact of the shutdown, the Schumer shutdown, as I call it, because it's the Democrats that won't want to vote for that clean CR. I think they're up to like 12 times plus that they voted no, because they're holding it hostage because they want to incorporate something that has nothing to do with opening the government. It's a separate item that they need to discuss about in Congress. And you can't say the Republicans are to blame for this. They voted yes, open the government. We want people. Doesn't matter if they're Democrats or Republican. We want them to have their paychecks. Thousands of federal workers have their paycheck paused. I like that. It's paused right now because once this gets back. Once the government gets going, I don't see it's not going to be a long-term shutdown. The Democrats they're taking too much heat right now. It is the Democrats' fault because they're not voting yes for a clean CR. Medicare has nothing to do with that clean CR. And you can try and argue it, but it's a lame argument because it's a completely separate. It has been done in the past where Republicans tried doing the same thing that Democrats are doing now, and it didn't work. And we open it. You got to keep the government open. People have to get their paycheck. SNAP is no more. So that's why these places like this food bank is very important to the community as far as that goes. The Southern Tier, the food bank of the Southern Tier. There's people that are counting on that because they're not getting their SNAP assistance, and there's people not getting paychecks, so they can't go to the grocery store. So, Mr. Schumer, if you're watching and if you're listening, get yourself and your Democratic senators to vote yes on the clean CR for a change. Okay, this is Schumer's first time because he's the one that when the shoe was on the other foot, he said, Republicans, we can't hold the government. Closing the government down hostage. Okay. But now, because the shoe's on the other foot, or they're trying to do something where they don't want to lose their leverage. That's Schumer's words, folks. When you have a politician saying that's our leverage, They think more of their party than they do their people, because there's people suffering right now with no paychecks. All they have to do is vote yes. They need 5 more Democratic senators. Senator Fetterman, John Fetterman from Pennsylvania, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, great senator, I think, is right now in the Democratic Party. He's voting yes. You have Bernie Sanders saying, "Oh, we got to tax those billionaires because they're making too much money." There's only like a dozen billionaires in the country. There's a lot of millionaires, which Bernie Sanders one of them. You don't hear him say, "Oh, we need to tax the millionaires." No. They only care about themselves when it comes down to it. And here's a good example that open the government. It shouldn't be tied to anything. Okay? It shouldn't be as leverage for the Democrats. So Democrats, get your head out of your asses and vote for the clean CR. So, and it's articles like this that get me upset, because there's people that I know, and it doesn't matter your political affiliation. Just like that lady said, come in the food bank. It's affecting both Republicans and Democrats. We need to just open the government, and then we can discuss the other stuff. That's how Congress works. You want to get something, you don't hold something else, block something else. That's a clean bill that's supposed to accommodate both sides. You got to have the government working, open to work. This bit, oh, we got to do this before we can open the government. That's bullshit. Any way you slice it. Anybody that says otherwise, I just disagree with you. Okay, so let's see. That was a good article there. Thoughts and prayers are going out to those people that aren't getting their SNAP benefits, and those people that are getting paychecks, because I know some people in the federal government right now that aren't earning a paycheck right now because of this. And they're both Republicans and Democrats. So anybody that wants to bring a freaking political matter into this, just keep it new. Just just open the government. The government is for everyone. It doesn't favor one side because they want this. It has nothing to do with it. The bill that they're voting on has nothing to do with other than opening the government. And to interject anything else, I just say you're outrightly wrong. Okay, let's see. I can hype on that all day. I'll save that for Hello America, folks. Let's see. Yeah, the children will go hungry and stuff. You know, that's because of the Democrats. But they want to keep their leverage. Yeah. We might affect our Social Security eventually, won't it?
Well, I'm starting to wonder if that's affecting
Air Force retirement?
the health care, if that's why they can't get that doctor approved.
No.
No?
No.
Don't think so?
I don't think so, no.
All right.
No, I think that's something that's, I don't know. I don't know. I have no, we'll see. Let's see here. That was on WENY. Let's see what else we have on WENY. That's a good article. School forecast. We have that. We have that. Oh, let's see. I'm checking. This new webpage for WENY is different. Let's see. Let's check local. Okay. Tompkins County. No, nothing there. What do we got for state? Anything on the state? No. Okay. Let's go to channel 18. Channel 18. Okay, another take on the government shutdown puts Southern Tier SNAP benefits at risk. Let's go ahead and bring this one up. I'll try and keep my commentary to a minimum, though. All right, let's see.
With the government shutdown potentially affecting SNAP benefits, many people in the Southern Tier could see big changes by the end of the month. 18 News reporter Ebony Lewis met with a food bank director and a food pantry coordinator and has details of how they're preparing for the changes.
With changes to SNAP benefits coming at the end of the month, local food banks and food pantries across the southern tier are working to try to make sure people will not go without food.
We're all saddened by it. There's no need for it. We have potentially 39,000 neighbors that could lose SNAP benefits, even temporarily, is an impact. Many of these neighbors, they rely on this on a daily basis.
Our children are our future. And can you imagine children going to school not having something to eat? Because the SNAP benefits is and continue to provide much needed nutrition benefits for our children. And we want to make sure that when they go to school, they're not thinking about how am I going to have, am I going to have a meal when I get home?
The Food Bank of the Southern Tier has been preparing for this just in case it happened.
We've been preparing since July. We've been slowly building up our stock. Just last week, we released some emergency funds to our pantries to get them stocked up and ready for anticipation.
Food bank organizers say their preparations are a short-term solution for the changes to SNAP benefits.
This is a short-term solution. The long-term solution is the federal government needs to open back up quickly.
We have to look at the big picture. What is best for this country? And the most vulnerable members of our society are elderly, our children, are disabled. We have to think about them, and we have to come together and work for their good.
In Elmira, Ebony Lewis, 18 News.
If you need to go to a food pantry or a food bank, you can go to our website right now. We have a list of places you can go if you need help with food.
Okay, there we have it. As far as another concern, another concern with the shutdown. I agree with the lady there that was in charge of the food bank. We need to open the government. Okay, I didn't hear her talk. This has a greater effect than trying to try to interject something that shouldn't be interjected into a clean CR. It's a direct impact now, folks, and I appeal to Senator Schumer, my senator here in New York, to vote for a clean CR, just like John Fetterman did in the senator from Pennsylvania. As far as we need to open the government and then talk about other things. That's what Congress, it's a hall of Congress. You don't hold something over something that's very important. This isn't very important. It's affecting people. SNAP is no more. People will be looking at these food banks, and thank God we have these. And thank God we have people such as the lady there talking about their food bank here in the southern tier of upstate New York. And God bless her. Okay, let's see what else we have here on local news. And not seeing anything there. Let's go to the Penny Saver. Tioga County elections challenge voters. And okay, we got local elections, I think, are next. I think they're the first Tuesday in November here in the New York State. So I guess there's governors going, or is it? Let me see. No, November 4th. That's a Tuesday. Okay, so number 4. That's the next week there. As far as that, we got election. We got local elections and state elections. WKGB. Anything on there? That's not good. That's not good. Okay, nothing there. KISS 102 or 104. That's the same thing as WNBF and WAAL. No, same articles there, so we don't see nothing there. Well, how about up there in Buffalo? Let's see, Country 106.5 WYRK. Anything up there of interest? Makes the file. No, nothing really up there. Let's see, and WBLK 93.7. It's up there in Buffalo. Anything of interest there? No, same articles there as the other one. Okay, so they must get their stuff from the same Same. They must be sister stations. Oh, I forgot to do the sports. Yeah, we got some sports here. Let's finish off with the sports here. Of course, tonight starts the first game of the World Series between the Los Angeles Dodgers and Blue Jays. I am going on record as saying that I am for the Dodgers. We're going to be the Dodgers. I want Blue Jays. They haven't won a World Series in a while, but I'm sticking with the American team. I know Canada has a baseball team and they're part of their Major League Baseball, so I'm going to make it a U.S. Canada thing. So go Dodgers. They used to be in Brooklyn, so we'll go with that as far as that goes. The Brooklyn Dodgers against the Toronto Blue Jays. No, the Los Angeles Dodgers tonight at 8:00. So who's airing that tonight? Fox. It's going to be on Fox 1, Fox Sports, Furbo, and Sling TV. I guess you can watch it on. So that's what it's going to be. Now, last night we did have a football game, and I picked on my picks. I guess the Chargers won over the Vikings 37-10, and that starts week 8. And hearing that. I think I'm going to change my pick. I'm going to do a captain rehab here. I'm going to change my pick. I think, let me bring up my picks here. I already said what the games that are playing here. And let me see. Let me bring up my picks here. Where's that? Okay, I just had them up here. Where the hell are they? Here they are. NFL. Okay, my picks. Like I said, last night I picked the Chargers, I picked Miami, New York Jets, New England, New York Giants, Buffalo Bills. That's the first time I'm picking the Jets, Giants, and Bills this week. So the Jets and Giants, those are hopefully my upset games. Chicago, San Francisco, New Orleans, Dallas, Indianapolis, Green Bay. But Washington, I'm changing that to the Chiefs. I'm changing. I don't have faith in the Washington team. I'm going to change it to the Chiefs. And I think, let's see, Tina picked the Chiefs. Michael picked the Chiefs. He still has to give me the Dallas-Denver. He's short one game. Ted picked, who did Ted pick? Who are they playing? Did he pick Washington? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Is Ted missing a game? Atlanta, Chicago, Cincinnati. Oh, he picked Kansas City. He picked Kansas City too. Captain Rehab picked the Chiefs. Brian picked the Chiefs. And let's see. Oh, that's week 7. Oh, I haven't gotten CBS. I still got to find out what CBS's picks are. I'll update that. I imagine Pete Presco is picking the Chiefs also. So we're going to go with that. I'm making an audible change there. We're going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs instead of the Washington Commanders as far as that goes. So I just had second thoughts, as far as that goes. They got some injuries too, I think. Okay, let's see. On the other football concerns, Manchester City Football Club, of course, they won last Sunday. They do have a game coming up this Sunday at 10 o'clock. They play Aston. Right, currently, Manchester City is in second place behind Arsenal. And we heard that Arsenal, what was it? They were part of history today. They were undefeated back, what day was that? When was that? 21 years ago today, Arsenal Football Club set an unbeaten record of 49. They were unbeaten in Premier League That's a fact I didn't know. So, but they're in first place in the Premier League, and Manchester City is going to have to step it up a little bit there when they play them, as far as that goes. So, but Manchester City plays what is it? The Aston Villa, as far as that goes. Aston Villa, and where are they in the standings? Aston Villa is they're 11th. They're 11th place. They're at 12 points, where Manchester City's at 16 points. See, I guess if you win, you get 3 points, and everything's based on point system. If you win, if it's a draw, I think maybe you get a point. I'm not sure, but right now, Manchester City, Liverpool lost last week, which was a surprise. So that's something. Let's see, what are we at? We're at 146. So I guess we can get ready to shut this thing down here and stuff, and we'll see what do we got planned today? Anything? We just going to hang around and try and capture a couple kitty cats today? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. I guess that's after I get done with my walk. We're trying to catch a mother and her little kitty cat, and who's eating regular food now, but we could get the mother. The mother we've been feeding for the last how many months? About 3 months? About 3 months now. So we're trying to catch them. You know, we can catch the mother, but we won't want to get the mother without the little kitten. And the mother has been around here for our one cat that gets up here, Jack. He's the oldest of the 5 cats I have. We'd take the cat in if we didn't have 5 cats, because the mother is really nice and very, very friendly, I would say.
She's warmed up.
Yeah, she's warmed up and stuff, so she trusts us. Well, that's another story. Yeah, and we're going to take them to the shelter. We already have reservations at the shelter to bring them in, and hopefully we're going to sponsor their adoption, and and they'll be at a better place instead of trying to handle the harsh New York State winter, because it gets cold here. Now, the mother survived. We saw her last year because she had a run-in with Jack. Jack got outside in the backyard, and he was chasing her into the cornfield. And so we know that she's survived and stuff, but we don't want, I guess it's one of those things when you're really emotionally tied to the animal, you don't want them to suffer. And even though they're going to survive,
to have more babies.
But we don't want her to have more babies either. So we want to take care of that aspect of her and stuff like that, and take her to the shelter. And the shelter, it's where we picked up Max years back ago. So, but we want to sponsor it and give her a good home instead of just being out wandering and fending. I think the one thing that really got to us when we saw, we call this cat Gray, because she's gray and she has a white splotch on her chest. The one thing that got to us is I'm looking out the window here at the bird feeder. She was eating bird feed. That's how hungry this cat was. So we started putting a bowl out for food and feeding her and stuff. And we've gotten to where we can pet her and stuff, and I can even pick her up a little bit. But she has a little one. I think she had 4 kittens, and there might be one over next door. I think I saw 2 of them, but one of them comes over. We call him Little Scamp. And what is it? He's starting to warm up to us a little bit, but not as he keeps his distance. And but we want to get them both, and I think we have a good system. It's just that somebody was a little more anxious yesterday. But it worked as far as yeah, both of them were in the cage, but when the missus closed the cage door, I guess it bounced open, and that's when they bolted out. So we're going to try and make an attempt today to rescue a couple cats, a mother and her kitten, and take them down to the local animal shelter as far as that goes. And it's gonna be a bittersweet when we take her down there with her kitten, because like I said, if we had room, we have 5 cats, so and to bring in a stray cat with the cats that have been here for a number of years, it's something that it would probably work out, but it would probably take a year for them to get used to each other and stuff like that. And it just, what's that? Yeah, because we rescued Lucy and her 4 kittens. We lost Calvin, and that's why we have 5 cats. We did rescue Lucy and her 4 kittens years back. We lost one of he was a young cat there, Calvin. He had some complications that we had to let him go, and it wasn't sustainable to keep him alive, and it was in his best interest and stuff. That's heart-wrenching and stuff. He's a good cat. And this is a good cat too, along with the kitten and stuff like that. We have other stray cats. They just look mean and angry. They don't come up. They keep they're away like a good 50 to 100 feet away and stuff. They don't come anywhere close. I mean, I just go boo out there and they go scattering and stuff like that. So, but Gray is a different story here. So we're trying to do a good thing for her to get her a better life with so she doesn't have to handle the harsh winters and stuff like that. So so we'll see what happens today. That's one of the things, and it looks like the clouds are clearing up. Okay, that's good. So it looks like it might be a nice day. Yesterday was a little cloudy and rainy. I'm going to go ahead and get a walk in, and the lawn does not look like this side doesn't look like it. Down our side street there, it looks like it needs a little bit of mowing, but they can wait till next week as far as that goes, because the grass I don't think is growing as fast as it was, say, a month ago and stuff. Here comes Jack. How you doing, Jackie Jack? Huh? How you doing? Okay, we're sitting at an hour and 52 minutes. We're going to go ahead and shut this down, I guess, exit stage left, and get our day started and see what the day brings. And I want to say thank you to our good friend Tina from Jersey, the Central Jersey, for being here. Thank you very much. I want to say thank you very much to God. He was in here. What? How come he didn't show up on the Rumble? I know he was here. I said hi to him. Senior Bast, Senior Bass, Senior. Thank you for being here. Coming in from Germany. Thank you for being here. Greatly appreciated. And I guess the only other one we had was Tony D. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. Oh, there's Senior. I didn't scroll up like. Let's see. There's Tina, Senior from Germany, Tina from Central Jersey, and then we just had Tony. So I guess it's a slow Friday, folks. It's a slow Friday for which usually Fridays is the busiest day, but that's okay. People have stuff to do, and we thank Tony D, my brother veteran, my good friend and fellow broadcaster. Thank you very much. You have a good day and good weekend. We'll be seeing you on Sunday morning on Bell Kings Fantasy Football, where Tony D has a broadcast there at 10:30 Eastern Time, where we talk about football. It's supposed to be about fantasy football, but with Michael, we talk about the other aspects of NFL football. So we'll be talking about that Sunday morning, and see what transpires during Sunday as far as for the NFL. But with that, I am Rich Roberts. I want to say thank you to those folks that were viewing the broadcast, as well as the people watching the replay. Thank you very much, and listening on Spotify at Fireman Rich on Spotify. I greatly appreciate that. Thank you. We have some good viewership there, and I'm very grateful and thankful for that. And again, you can follow me or check me out over on X at Fireman Rich. Give me a follow if you want. If you're not, you at least you know where I'm at, where I'm posting things here on these interwebs. That's my mainstay for social media postings. I post everything there. I post about 75% of the stuff on other platforms. You can Google at Fireman Rich and you'll see where I'm at. But it's the same stuff I post over there on at Fireman Rich. Of course, we're also live on Rumble, Locals, YouTube, Twitch at Fireman Rich on Twitch, Facebook, The Real Fireman Rich, X again at Fireman Rich, and over there on Kick at Fireman Rich over there. I think YouTube it's at Richard M. Roberts. I was able to change the name from Tioga Fire Prevention to at Richard M. Roberts. That's a YouTube channel. So, and all those other there's other platforms. There's like 9 other places I post on. They're similar to X. So Well, with that, I guess that's it. So you all have a great one. Again, thank you very much from the heart, and appreciate it. And you all have a great day and a great weekend. We will probably be doing some broadcasting, some gaming of some sort, probably some Lord of the Rings online, maybe tonight or tomorrow night. I don't think I'll be doing Hello America. I will be doing some gaming. I want to get some gaming in. So with that, you all have a great one. Live life, have fun. Ciao for now. As always, peace. Take care, folks, and have a great Friday. We made it to the weekend, folks. Ciao for now.